Hi guys, it's me Jess here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I make my cutie vintage inspired dress. The design of this dress is actually pretty simple with a round neck, a little puffy sleeve and the gather waist. But what makes this dress different is the lining part. I was trying to use the lining technique to hide on the seam inside, so the outside or the inside face of the dress look very clean. You even can turn it into a reversible dress if you want. That's why I hope you guys will like it and try it out. And let's get started.
The first step is making the pattern for the dress. To make the back bodice pattern, I draw a straight line cutting the edge horizontal line first. From the first straight line, I draw another one. Number 10 my shoulder side minus a half centimeter. Then connect the end of this line to the top of the neckline to create a shoulder line for the back bodice. From the first straight line, I draw another one 22 cm from it. It's a quarter of my bust line plus 2 cm. It's also the end of the sleeve line of the back bodice that I want. At the shoulder, the sleeve and the side line before cutting. And we will have the back bodice pattern after that. You will need to cut this pattern in full fabric at the edge horizontal line. To make the front bodice pattern, I will paste on the back bodice pattern. I move the shoulder line down 2 cm for the front bodice pattern. From the middle of the back neckline, I mark at 5 cm on the edge horizontal line. It will be the tip of the neck at the front bodice. Then redraw the neckline after that. From the cutting point between the bust line and the perpendicular line at the shoulder, I mark inside 2.5 cm. Then connect this mark to the end of the new shoulder line. After that, I mark in the middle of this line before drawing a curved line from the mark on the bust line through this mark and finish at the end of the new shoulder line. It will be the sleeve line of the front bodice. Add in 1 cm for seam allowance at the new shoulder line and the sleeve line before cutting. And we will have the front bodice pattern after that. You will need to cut this pattern in full fabric at the edge horizontal line. To make the sleeve pattern, I draw a straight line cutting the edge horizontal line first. From the cutting point, I mark at 15 cm on the edge horizontal line. It's 1/5 my bust size minus 1 cm. It will be the top of the sleeve. I also mark at 20 cm, which is a quarter of my burst size on the straight line. Then connect two marks together. I divide the slanted line into 3 equal parts. From the middle between two top parts, I draw a perpendicular line outside the slanted line with 2 cm length. From the middle of the third part, I draw a perpendicular line inside the slanted line with a half centimeter length. Then draw a curved line from the mark on the straight line through the top of the perpendicular lines and finish at the mark on the edge horizontal line. This will be the slit line of the sleeve. I finished the end of the sleeve in the similar way I did at the neck by using the bias tape. Top of the rectangle, which is the top of the skirt, I marked down 10 cm on the side of the rectangle. It will be the position for the pocket, then adding the pocket there later. Doing the same for the other side and sewing. Will be the same at the width at the end of the bodice part, so we can connect them together later. At the lining part of the skirt, The last step is connecting the top part of the dress to the skirt part. Remember to connect them separately between the main fabric and the lining fabric. And I finished this DIY. Here's my final result. This dress looks so cute with a little vintage vibe. I love how both sides of the dress look so clean that I even can wear them both. Hope you guys like it and we'll try it out soon. See you next week.